so the on bar update part 2. So this was execution on bar close. Watch this. If I go false, it's gonna execute on ticks. Okay. So if I build that, I recompile it right here, and I'm just gonna get a million of executions right now. So you can see that I had many more times the on bar was called at let me just clear this, reload. So I mean, let me just so you give you an idea. So this would be true, and let's just create an int counter, and so every time the bar, so counter is going to increase by 1 every time the on bar update is called. So in this case, so let's go for the bar close example first. And actually, every time I initialize, I want to clear output window. You gotta want to clear it manually every time, and I don't want my previous results to confuse me. Okay, so the count for this is 655. Okay, so and that's coming back to the indexing. That's just gives you, so the on bar update was actually called 655 times. We got 676 minus 20, 656 bars on the chart. Okay. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, 655 times it's called, and now if you go ahead and change this to false, watch that. Sorry about the noise, it's just a plane flying by. Calculating bar close, false. Build start, build succeeded. Now we're gonna okay, so basically you don't see any difference, right? But if you go ahead and spin this thing now, right? No, this is really weird because it's supposed to be calculating bar close. Oh well, there's one thing with this calculate on bar close. If you go actually and look at the strategy now, you see it says right here, calculate on bar close true. So basically, some of the changes you make inside your code, you might need to not only reload the script, you might also need to remove the strategy and put it back on, okay? Because it just remembers it for some reason. So where was it? Ninja class strategy. So now you can see it actually changed to, so we put it to false, and you can actually see that calculating bar close is false. Okay, so that's the reason. You will get this bug 100%. Okay, so now, so you can see it executed on every bar close on history, right? But if we go live, you see the bar hasn't closed yet, but this thing is spinning because we're getting tick data, and the strategy is actually executing on every tick. Okay, so the idea behind this is that on history, the execution is going to be obviously on bar close, but on live and replay, you're going to get execution based on tick data. So if I set this to true now and recompile and check, I'm not going to be getting any values incrementing until the bar closes. But so if you think that I'm going to recompile, run, and that will happen, no. So watch this. It's going to still execute on ticks because you can see that right here the value has not changed, it's still false. So you either change it manually or you just remove this and well, put it back on. Gotta name it something else. Can't see. So now it's calculating bar close is true, and you can actually see that after I enable it, nothing happens until bar. So 656, 57 only happens on bar close. All right. So well, obviously every minute, or was it every hour? Okay. So that's the difference, and so basically that's the difference. And let's actually put it back to now the trick. So this is false. Sometimes you want to have a hybrid system, right? Where you actually want some things inside the system to happen on tick, but other things to happen on bar kind of close, because, well, I mean, some stuff you want to, first of all, this is very CPU consuming, so you want to, save up some CPU, and also, but some stuff you really want to do on tick. So how you do that? The way you do that is actually pretty simple. It's got if first tick of bar, that's it. So this means that this is like, well, bar close. All right. So this is like the first tick of a new bar. That means that you just had a bar close. So like this, we're going to bang. Oops. So the counter is actually going to spin. Doesn't matter, but we're going to print this stuff only on bar close, but execute on tick. So the counter is going to be pretty big because it's going to be counting ticks, but we're going to get a message only on bar close. So I'm going to disable, I'm going to remove, and I'm going to put it back on. So I'm going to put OK and enable. And now I'm going to spin this. So I'm actually getting tick data. So if I'm right, then this is 659. The next one, if I'm wrong, is going to be 660. But if I'm right, it's going to be some other number, which is going to be greater than that. So let's see what happens when this bar closes. So right now, the strategy is actually executing. So you see, that's the difference between these two numbers, actually how many ticks I had inside that hour. Okay, so you can actually, you see that this part of strategy, the top part, was actually executing on every tick, but whatever came after this if statement actually executed only on first tick of bar, well, which is the bar close. Okay, and this is like really useful, and this is the only way you can actually get around this issue. I mean, like if you create a strategy which you want to execute in bar close, there's no way you can initialize an indicator that executes on ticks from that strategy. So you gotta, if you want to have, I mean, you can still initialize a strategy that executes on bar close, and initialize an indicator that executes on ticks, but the indicator will have to be initialized manually. If you want it to all come in one code within the strategy, that's the workaround. Okay, that's the workaround.